I have a bone to pick with this matchup right here, but one of the most overhyped fights that we have on the card. Not because it's a bad matchup. This is a fireworks matchup, man. But Nasrat Haqparast opened up, AJ, as a plus 215 dog against Esteban Ribovics. He is now a plus 220 dog, minus 270, leading the dance for Esteban Ribovics. That Sphere performance really put this dude on the map, huh? No disrespect. I love the way he fights, man. 15 hard minutes in your face, throwing hooks, throwing big shots, kicks, working the body. What isn't to like about Ribovics? Argentinian monster right here. But AJ, in what world has he fought stiffer competition than Nasrat Haqparast? In what world has he showed better boxing or better speed than Nasrat Haqparast? I haven't seen it. I'm confused because I don't know where minus 270 is coming from. And I think that this is the discount sale of discount sales on the livest dog on the card, Nasrat Haqparast. What do you think?
Absolutely, Derek. When I break down film, I look at things, I process how I think the fight's going to go. I'll make my pick, and then I'll look at the props or the odds after that. Shocked, absolutely shocked that Haqparast was the favorite or the underdog right here. I expected it to be flipped. I thought I was going to be rolling with the dog in Ribovics, but turns out the case. I mean, a lot of people do like him, and again, it could be one of those things where it's what have you done for me lately? But to that point, I mean, in both of their last fights, they had split decisions, and the fight before that, they both had TKOs in round one, decisions after that. Like, it kind of confused me as well because I do think the boxing of Haqparast is not vastly greater, but more polished than what we've seen out of Ribovics. But to that point, Derek, I would say Ribovics is a little more fun and entertaining style of a fighter because he's able to mix it up.
I agree. And that's why I think everybody's on him right now. No disrespect, man, but if there's one thing that you would, if you had to describe Ribovics as a fighter, like what kind of fighter would you say? Is he a knockout fighter? Is he a point fighter? Like what would you describe him as?
A mix and match. He's able to do what he wants. I mean, he still has the high guard. He comes in, but he also able to blitz and really get into the mix with those counters and with the pop that he has in his shots. I would say a new age. That's kind of how I think I would best describe him instead of putting him into one little lump, like, right, just a Mike Tyson only KO or however the case. He's able to do a little bit of everything.
That was a silly question. I shouldn't have asked you because I know you actually watched the film. But if you're going to talk to like the average person, right, who's like, oh yeah, that Ribovics guy, all that I'm hearing on the internet and real life and all of that when I talk to my buddies about, oh, bro, he's knocking dudes out left and right. And I'm like, well, like, yeah, but not in the UFC. In the UFC, the man, one of his 3 wins are via knockout. It's only one of them. And it was the McKinney fight. And it was the instant just came in and put him out. Now he's swinging hard, man. He's giving people fits. He's giving people problems. But I wouldn't say that Daniel Zellhuber, which was the last win by Ribovics, which he won by a split decision, I wouldn't say that Daniel Zellhuber is by and large a better fighter or a better prospect than Nasrat Haqparast. And I didn't think that Esteban Ribovics looked minus 270 against Zellhuber because he was arguably losing the fight until the 3rd round. That's when he had the big flurry, got the split. Awesome. Yeah, so just to see a big dog. We don't have to keep harping on it, man, but I just think that the line is skewed, and what I want to talk about is how this can be exploited. So first, AJ, let's hit the over. That's the easiest thing to hit. 2.5 rounds, minus 225 for the over, plus 165 for the under. Again, Ribovics, this blood and guts fighter, what do you like, over or under?
I still like the over, Derek, because I respect what Nasrat Haqparast is doing and his abilities to be able to do. Do I think a knockout can happen? Yeah, but I think we're going to have to wear each other down a lot to be able to find those openings because of how skilled both fighters are.
I think both dudes need to tuck their chin. That's what I think. Because Haqparast, for real, Haqparast, although he is largely a decision fighter, like, let's be fair, man, you know what I mean? He also isn't a dude who's getting knocked out. He's got 1 finished loss in his entire career. In his 5 losses, 4 of them are by decision. For Ribovics, on the other hand, man only has 1 loss in his career, and that was a decision loss, once again, right here. But Nasrat Haqparast has power. Ribovics obviously has power. Like, that's the thing I feel like he's coming into the fight being known for. But with Haqparast, I think it's one of those, AJ, I'm going to butcher it, so I'm going to have you do it for me. Timing and speed and power, and it's one of those. But go ahead.
Precision beats power and timing beats speed. And yeah, that is Haqparast all day long.
Exactly. And given that I don't feel Ribovics is going to try to wrestle in this one, which is what Haqparast had to deal with Jared Gordon in the last fight, this should be a really, really fun fight. Over, I like it. But you're rolling with Ribovics and I'm rolling with Haqparast. I just pretty much laid out the reasons why I think that the line is skewed. For Haqparast, I think he's faster. I think he's a cleaner boxer, in my opinion. He just doesn't throw the kicks that Ribovics does, which will be interesting. And he's still bigger, though. Bigger and longer. So what reasons do you have for Ribovics walking away with this one?
What I like about Ribovics, Derek, is he's able to mix things up. I do think he's going to at least have the opportunity to work in the takedowns, to work in the wrestling. We'll see if he actually does it. But just being able to throw kicks, throw different things out there, have those fast hands that do have the pop in their shots, that's going to gain a lot of respect from Haqparast, who's technically more of the one-dimensional style of fighter, right? Like you said, slick boxing, still has power himself, but he's going to be looking to work the ones and twos. Ribovics can go in there and provide a flurry to you, right? And then at that same point, he's dangerous in a brawl. So if Haqparast is going to engage in the fight, it's going to be in close range, in the boxing range, and that's where Ribovics is one of his most dangerous, and homeboy can crack when he does.
He sure can. And that's really where I see it on both ends, man. I think Ribovics is going to be doing the big blitzes. Haqparast is going to be counter-striking, circling out. This is Southpaw versus Orthodox. Only thing that I'm really hoping to avoid is any weirdness that happens in the fight due to the opposite stances. Clashes of heads, things of that nature, because it happens all the time for the split stances. But I just think that this is a who are you willing to rock with? And for me, I'm rocking with the live dog on this one. The value is too high for me not to take it. So the reality is when I looked at this, I just thought it was a very clear dog or pass once again. So I'm just going to roll with the dog. Nasrat Haqparast, no methodology. I like the over. If you don't care who wins, you just want a rounds bet. But yeah, we're rolling with the live dog for me. AJ, any last words on the Ribovics pick?
We're rolling Ribovics, and like Derek said, if you're just looking for rounds over all day long, but I'm taking an interesting one here, Derek, and it's because I respect what Nasrat Haqparast can do. I'm taking Ribovics at the decision, when open at -110. Not sure what it is right now, but I like that odds for him. I think this is going to be a longer style of fight. Hopefully Ribovics is able to pull it out.
Plus 105 for Ribovics right now on point. Should be an interesting one. All right, AJ, set the table for this next match.